Meanwhile, firefighters who've been battling with the inferno, which started at the Bank of Lisbon building in the Johannesburg CBD, have spoken out against the difficulties of trying to douse out the flames.
The emergency personnel claim there were not sufficient resources to extinguish the fire.
I wasn't the first responder with the three that died inside the building. I actually came to rescue those, to rescue all of them that were in the building because I wasn't at work. They phoned me, they told me that they need help. Then I had to take my uniform and take my car and come here. When I came here, I was wearing my full PPE. Then I took everything that I needed to rescue them inside there. I've only found out on the 23rd that there were hoses lying there. Then I tried to even try to connect mine on the booster connection. The booster, the landing valves had no water at all. Then I carried on because I had my full PPE. Then I tried to save them. Then I got where they were. Then I came back with them.
Just tell us what made it difficult for you, or what do you think made it difficult for the firefighters who responded first to fight the fire, and not only that, but to protect their lives in themselves?
It was difficult because there was no water. Without water, you can't do anything. To be honest, because when they explained to me, they said immediately when they got on the 23rd floor, just on the stairs, there was just small smoldering. Then the fire just went out. Then it was a backdraft and everything. Then where the exit was no more there. They had to go where they could see the light. So there was no water. There was nothing that they could do. Nothing. Even myself, if I was there, there was nothing that I could have done.
For more on this story, let us now cross live to our reporter Nozintombi Miya, who is in Johannesburg CBD for us there. Ntombi, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. We do know at this current moment that about 80% of the fire has been contained. Talk to us about the current situation. Does this perhaps mean that now investigations will get underway?
Yes, Palisa, what you're seeing now is the background of this Lisbon building. You can still see that some of the building floors are smoking. The firefighters have been doing their best throughout today to make sure that they stamp out some of the areas that have been flagged, some of the hot spots that have been flagged. We've just gotten confirmation that it's risen up to 90%. So 90% of this building has officially been declared relatively, a fire-free zone. It's those particular buildings on the 14th, the 15th, as well as the 13th floor that still have got smoking bits of smoldering fire. That we know that the 3rd reinforcement team of firefighters went in earlier to go and assess and make sure that they continue with the damping down process. The rain that took place earlier definitely helped with the firefighters making sure that the fire was contained to 90% of the situation as it stands now. Palisa?
Standing by there with Wayne Mina, who is the Senior Superintendent for Johannesburg Metro Police Services. And of course, many roads have been closed to traffic, and I know that it's a Friday afternoon. It is usually very crazy there downtown Johannesburg on this day at this current moment. So what's going to happen?
Well, we've seen in the past 3 days since Wednesday when the fire broke that, the Johannesburg Metro Police had to make sure that they cordoned off the area and they dealt with the traffic that resulted as a result of that. This road that we're standing right next to, adjacent to, is the main road that leads to the Breed taxi rank. So a lot of the taxis use this as a throughway to go and pick up and drop off passengers. This particular area has also got quite a lot of workers. So it certainly has been quite a monumental task for the JMPD to make sure that the 4 blocks that have been cordoned off are, cordoned off in the right way. And to talk to us a little bit more about this is a spokesperson for the Johannesburg Metro Police, Wayne Binar. It's a Friday afternoon. You are anticipating that traffic is going to come to a gridlock again, as you saw on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes, we have officers on all of the intersections, particularly the roads which are very busy directing traffic. And Pixley Kasema Street has been blocked off. We have Helen Joseph Road blocked off, as well as Albertina Sisulu Street. So the roads around this building has been blocked off, and we're diverting traffic. Some of the roads are a bit busier than others, but we are trying our very best under these circumstances.
And what contingency measures do you have in place? Do you have pointsmen at the different intersections that are generally going to be quite busy?
Oh, definitely so. And if the fire is not put out by tomorrow morning, then we're going to have to deploy some more of the officers into this CBD to be able to deal with the congestion. But for now, the officers are managing, and we've got them directing traffic at the busy intersections.
But you have gotten some positive feedback from the workers in this particular area, as well as motorists who to a large extent seemingly are adhering to the rules of the road.
Yes, absolutely, and it does appear as if many of the workers did leave a lot earlier today because of this particular area, which is blocked off, and that has helped us a lot, because now we have less traffic in the CBD at this time for a normal Friday afternoon. But if the fire is not put out by tonight and goes through till tomorrow morning, then we're going to have to bring in even more officers to deal with the Saturday morning traffic.
My final question to you, what are some of the alternative routes that motorists can use?
Yes, people coming into the CBD can definitely use Rissik Street or Ntemi Piliso streets as alternative routes. Anderson Street is not affected, Marshall Streets are also not affected, and Lillian Ngoy Street is also not affected. So those are the roads which motorists can use for the rest of the evening and also tomorrow.
Thank you so much. That was Wayne Menar of the Johannesburg Metro Police. 4 blocks of this inner city centre have been cordoned off by the Johannesburg Metro Police, but there are contingency measures in place. In the meanwhile, about 90% of this building, the fire has been doused down, about 90%. The 13th, the 14th and the 15th floors have got some level of smog and a little bit of fire that is still burning, that the emergency services are making sure they're trying their level best to damp down. Ideally, emergency services want to make sure that the fire is completely doused down by this evening, so that forensic investigations and police investigations can begin in earnest on Saturday morning. The students that are living in the building right next to the Gauteng Provincial Health Building that was on fire have been evacuated, but we are seeing that some of the students who've just battled to find alternative accommodation are coming back because they say they don't have any other place to stay. Palesa.
All right, we leave it at that. Nozintombi, our reporter Nozintombi Miya, live from the Lisbon building, downtown Johannesburg, of course, updating us on that particular story. We'll cross back to her a little later on here on the show.